Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I'm fixing up a single axle garden trailer. So this thing's got a bit of rust in it, it's pretty run down. It's been sitting here in the corner for like 5-6 years. So I think it's time for this little beauty to be fixed up, and we're going to donate it to Andrew, who is the founder of Fire and Rain Ministries and supports people in refugee camps in Cambodia. So this can hopefully finance ministry and help his family out. So here I'm going to just change the disc. And so I've got the cordless angle grinder with a 125mm cutting wheel. And so we're going to cut away all the welds and cut that off the trailer so that we can take that off and replace it. So here I am just taking off the welds. So you got one on the right here and underneath where it's attached to the trailer. And I needed the new disc just to be able to get in a bit further in so I can cut all the way in and give me that extra reach. So we're cutting out the front side weld here and we're pushing as far as we can near the latch. And then as we push that in, we gum from the underside. So now it's time to get the welds on the top side. So we've got 5 welds in total up there, so that's the second one here. And it's hard to tell what's rust and what's weld. But here you can see the rust has made it swell out and pop out a bit, and that's just from water corroding. So there's the 4th one, and then there's one behind the latch here. So that just pops off with ease now. Just wiggle the end off and detach it, and now we're going to measure that up so that we can cut the other one. So I picked up this new angle at Bunnings for about, I don't know, $30, and so I like to cut it each side first so that it doesn't bite into the blade, and then the top of the angle there so it just falls away nicely. Now we're going to prime it. So I'm using here the metal edge primer, the grey metal edge primer, and I'm doing 2 coats of that. So we'll let that dry and we'll come back to it later and give it a good top coat. So now it's time for the grinder. And this is a 125mm grinding disc, and you can see just here the brace on top. We face it the other way round so it can actually bite in a lot better and support the disc really well. So here I'm just grinding away the excess rust that has built up over the years behind the angle plate, which I want to grind away so that it won't eat away at the new angle that I'm going to put in. And a lot of it's just surface rust, so here also grinding it back down to bare metal. So I'm doing the top of the cage here, and that's coming away pretty nicely. That takes a bit of elbow grease and a bit of hard work, and really satisfying process. It's definitely important to be wearing gloves, goggles and earmuffs during this process because of all the dust and the sparks and even the loud noise from the grinder. Doing projects like this outside really helps, reduces the noise, dust and even the fumes from the paint. But it does mean I got to take on the elements, and the rain is about to come, so we have to get that undercover. But just before that I primed this little section, and now we're undercover, so I grinded the rest of the trailer at the back here. And so now I've moved underneath onto the storage area, and there was a couple of brackets here I had to remove, so I angle grind them off, use the crowbar to leverage it off a bit, and then hit it with a little mash hammer. So smash them off, and now it's time to put some aluminium checker plate, because I find that the checker plate is great for gripping the tools or whatever is moving around underneath, even though I'm going to put some synthetic grass on top of that. So here I'm just using my cordless angle grinder, and we're just cutting away this checkered plate. I did find with my cordless angle grinder, with the cutting wheel, it did well for the first cut, but the second cut, as you can see the flashing light, kind of struggled a little bit on the second cut. It just got a little bit warm and a little bit overworked. So now time to get the checkered plate in. So I lined it all up, put it in, and it fit perfectly, so really happy with that. So now it's time with the 4mm drill bit to drill some holes, and then use the 4mm pop rivets to then secure it down to the bottom plate underneath. It's a bit of hard yakka, really gives your wrists a good workout with the drill and also with the pop rivet gun. So I probably did about 300mm apart and did one straight line on the left, one straight line on the right, and then straight down the middle. So here we're going to move on to the mud guard on the right hand side, the driver's side, and we're just going to grind back some of the rust and get rid of all this rust off the top. So here I'm using the 3M respirator, which is best to use against dust and fumes, and I'll just put the link below if you're interested. Now the front side of it. So prepping this nicely so that we can prime and paint. It's a bit of a hard angle underneath, especially with the guard on the angle grinder. Sometimes gets in the way there, so you got to move the guard around in different positions just to get behind there. But we're able to do that and get all the rust off there. So this project was a 2-day project, but it needed an extra day just to get all the materials, paint and things ready for the job. So now it's the left-hand side, passenger side. So we're just hitting the top of that, getting rid of a lot of the surface rust on that. But there's also a crack on the mudguard, and also the mudguard pulls away there, as you can see. And so we're going to spot weld that, and then after we spot weld it, we're going to do a securing weld, and then also fixing that crack. So we did that, and now it's time to do some priming. So we're priming the front of the cage here, and then also on the side and the mudguard here. So we're doing the driver's side mudguard with the metal etch primer. And so you'll do one coat, let it dry over the 3-4 hours, and then do a second coat. So this is the back of the mudguard. And we did get a couple of coats under this. And here's on the passenger side. So we'll give that a coat. And that's come up pretty well. So now we're doing the angle that we're going to weld on. So we've primed it twice, and now we've done the top coat. And you give a couple of coats for the top coat and give it a good 4 or 5 hours or so between dry. So that's dried nicely, and now we're just going to spot weld the angle onto the bit that we pulled off, that rusted bit. So I secured and spot welded in the middle to pull the tension, and then I was able to clamp it on the left hand side and weld it. And now we're doing the right hand side, clamping it and then welding it also. So after spot welding the middle and then both sides, now I was able to then do the proper weld and secure it properly. So this is where I'm securing the end, securing the side plate, right side, middle section, and I gave it a pretty thick weld in the middle so it could last and be a little bit stronger as support. And now we're brushing off all the weld and all the excess there so that the paint, when we prime it, will stick better. So now it's time to put the latches on. So we're going to re-secure the old latches that we've taken off the old one and weld them on with a little spot weld and then secure them properly. They're pretty fiddly and pretty hard to cure. Sometimes you're going to be quick so it doesn't get too hot on your fingers, or you can use a magnet to hold it in place. But also to get the earth properly and to find it, I find that having the earth as close as possible to the welding section creates a better weld. I also find that having my welder set to minimum instead of max was better to do the thin metal so that it doesn't pop or burn or melt away the thin metal. When you're using the thicker metal, I usually put it on max. So I'm using a gasless welder that you can pick up on eBay or on Amazon, and I'll put the link below. But they're great little welders and they're really easy to use. So if you haven't used one before and you got little home projects, little DIY things that you want to do yourself, I suggest you give it a go. Like, what have you got to lose? Just pick one up on Amazon, practice on some old angle, and then move on to your bigger projects. So now that we've prepped, primed and taped, it's time to do the top coat. So I've got my compressor and I'm using my gravity fed gun. And so we're just starting on the back of the cage here. And as you can see, it's a lot faster with this spray gun. And I can change angles on the nozzle there to go either way. And I can also change the pressure and how much paint is coming through the gun as well. It's a lot faster than the can, and I find it a lot more accurate as well. So here we're finishing off the left side. Now we're doing the mud guards. And I find it pretty easy with the spray gun to get underneath there in the hard to reach places. And I'm just doing a few little patches that I might have missed here or there. So here we're doing the front side. So here I'm using 4 litres of black enamel gloss paint, with a touch of thinners just to make it a little bit smoother through the gun. I'm trying to put it on pretty thick as I can go without it running. But you won't get that many runs with a spray gun compared to a can. Seems to be a lot more of a smoother application. So now we're onto the right side, the driver's side, and you can see that there's a bit of a jam or a bit of a blockage in my nozzle because it's going a lot thinner, so I'm not getting the full span, and there I was unable to unblock it a bit and just get a better coating. So now we're just spraying on the driver's side mudguard now, and that's it for the spray gun. So here I'm going to secure a 90mm pipe so I can put my shovel, broom and rake in. So I'm doing some holes here, and then here's the 90mm pipe, and with some tie wire I'm securing it with some concreted snips and just making that tight. So I'm going to do 3 points of securing, 3 layers of tie wire so that it's super secure and that there's no chance of this pipe ever falling off. So now that that's done, I'm just going to use the rattle can and spray some enamel black gloss, give a good coverage to blend it in with the trailer. So here I'm securing a few hooks here, one on the left side and one on the right side of the tailgate, so that I'm able to then make this nice and secure and be able to put a nice big lock on it. And here I've just secured it with some metal screws that bite in really easy and secure nicely. Now it's time to throw in the synthetic grass over the top. So I've cut that up nicely and lined it up. Gives that nice little added feature. And now we're going to put all the gardening gear, so the pickaxe, shovel, we've got crowbar, pitchforks, which are great for the mulch. It's got 2 of those bad boys. Digging shovels. And now all the fuel and the tools. So we've just got some PPE gear, a screwdriver set, socket set, all the necessities, and there's the fuel. And so we pack that in nicely. Extension lead. Blower. We've got the 4-stroke lawnmower, Biggs and Stratton. Finished filling the bottom storage. So now we've got the top bin with some Hessian bags and the wheelbarrow. Now time for handover. Andrew was wrapped and received with open arms and was so thankful, and I just feel so blessed to be able to help him in his ministry. And look at that great gardening trailer all ready to go. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Click subscribe for more Damos Handyman Workshop videos.